I live with ADHD, bipolar disorder, OCD, eating disorders, panic disorders and sleeping disorders. I also have 3 children. My 2 oldest ones, the very oldest one has left home and has her own child now, but the 2 oldest ones have had bipolar since they were 16, and my youngest son has autism and depression. So I'm also experienced as a carer for my children. And Sammy,
I can do me.
you do me. You do you.
I can do that.
You do you.
Yeah,
Yes.
whatever.
Okay.
We're a bit of a comedy duo,
Yeah.
so bear with us. We tend to bounce off each other. My name's Sammy. I have a dual diagnosis. I have clinical depression, generalised anxiety disorder, whatever you want to call it. I also have social phobia, so the fact that I'm standing up here in this conference is like, if I go running out the room, don't worry, I'm having a panic attack.
You can't, I'm standing here.
Yeah, that's why you're standing there, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Okay. Valium should kick in at any moment. Now, I used marijuana for 25 odd years to self-medicate my anxiety, and it got to the point where I couldn't leave the house without being stoned because the world's a scary place. 3 years ago, or just over 3 years ago, I found myself homeless and using heroin and circling the drain. Fortunately, I had a good mental health support worker who recognised it and did what's called a geographical rehab. I'm from Melbourne. I swear it was the weather that caused it.
It's a brief introduction.
Sorry, I'm nervous.
Okay.
Yep. So yes, I've been clean 3 years.
And she cares for her partner.
Oh, and I
who's
care for my
bipolar.
partner who has bipolar and intellectual disability from
Yeah,
a
no.
brain. Oh, now we've. I'm
No, you need
nervous.
to get the introductions.
Oh, how do we do this? Just hit the next. Look at that. Janelle actually came up with this idea. We had on the Gold Coast an initiative called VoiceBox, which was digital storytelling. It then led to a project called Activate Your Voice, which is a group of consumers leading an education campaign to help reduce stigma. After a couple of sessions, Janelle went, no, I don't want to wait till Mental Health Week. I want to get out and I want to do this. So she approached the people at Partners in Recovery, the head honchos, with her idea of going out and talking about her lived experience and sharing it and trying to help others through that. Talked about the best way to do it, whether she goes like for a not-for-profit, set herself up as a not-for-profit or as a business. They said, write a project plan, we strongly suggest you invite somebody else and present it. So that's what she did.
So what is, next slide. What is the initiative? The initiative's called Let's Have a Chat. And the reason it's called Let's Have a Chat is because that implies that it's casual, it's safe and it's confidential and it's all those things. And that's what we also want to encourage people to come along and have a chat. Share coping strategies, share fears, share struggles in their day-to-day lives and share their goals and their ambitions as well.
Tea, coffee and biscuits too.
Tea, coffee and biscuits too. And we share our experiences. We share our experiences in being diagnosed late in our lives and the struggles that we had. We share our experiences in caring and the struggles that we've had with that. And hair dye really helps dealing with that. And
Hides the greys.
But we also concentrate greatly on promoting good mental health in an effort to prevent mental illness as an end result. So we just hang on, and through promoting good mental health, through sharing our stories, we hope to reduce stigma because we're encouraging people to start the conversation.
I jumped ahead, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
All right.
Do you want to go next? I'll go to the next one.
No, that's right. Actually, when Janelle invited me to be part of this, I don't know if anyone's seen the meme on Facebook of a lady on a dragon and it says, someone told me I was delusional, I nearly fell off my dragon. I love it. She asked me this and said, they're going to pay us to talk, and I said, I'm going to fall off a dragon.
She thought I had a unicorn.
Well, that's it. They asked us 3 questions. Did she have comprehensive car insurance? How much stationery do you want? And do you want a catering box with tea, coffee and biscuits?
Just on that note, I'm addicted to stationery.
And you have a go at me about pens?
Stationery includes other things other than pens. Keep going.
I like my pens, what can I say? So it was very well received. We've been so well supported by partners in recovery. I'm not allowed to use the joke that I now get paid to talk when I used to get told to shut up anymore, because apparently it's getting a bit old.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Next slide.
Next slide? All
Next
right.
slide.
I think I'm on the next slide. Oh no, it's be the other one.
We are all over the place.
We did rehearse.
We rehearsed this for weeks, and our bosses are going to see this video. It's going to be hilarious. But we put the project plan into action, and I was invited to develop a project plan. When they first invited me to go over the project plan with them, I really thought they were going to send me away and say, tweak this, tweak that. As Sammy said, I was asked the 3 questions. They then proceeded to tell me, you have training next week. We're going to pay you this. We will pay you kilometres for travelling to and from talks. Would you like to work in the office? At which point, no, we weren't ready.
No,
However, a month ago we did start working in the office 1 day a week. And we're just about ready to take over the CEO's office 2 or 3 days a week, but he won't be a part of that yet. But I think the things that helped with that project plan was that it was clear and concise. The aims weren't too high, and it was clear and concise and able to be read and understood completely.
Next one.
Yep.
Now this is part of our anti-stigma campaign. If anyone would like to take part, I have got 3 of our different postcards. Grab one off me. I urge you just to take a selfie, and the details of where to lodge it's on there. My Mind GC is a website we have. Janelle actually came up with the name. My Mind stands for My Mental Illness Network Directory. On there's information about different illnesses and different anti-stigma campaigns going on the coast. We have a coffee cup campaign as well, which is in 30 cafes. How many?
75,000 cups.
75,000 cups. So Joe Blow in the public goes to his normal cafe and he's getting this anti-stigma cup of coffee, and a call to action on the back is to write their name and take the funniest photo that they can in an iconic location, and same as the postcards, post it to Instagram, Facebook and all of that. I did have a coffee cup and I was going to ask people to have a photo, but yesterday I saw Pat Corrigan and I got him to have a photo, and he's actually taken it to America to put in his anti-stigma museum. So sorry, you can have the postcard, but I've lost the cup.
We have officially gone to America. Just on that side, the why was because it encourages people to come along and talk, and in an environment where they're not judged. One of the things in my early diagnosis was I resented the clinical support, being told by people who don't have a lived experience what the textbook says, and the textbook says you should take these meds in the morning, but even if they make you tired, the textbook says take them in the morning. Well, blow your textbook, I'll take them at night and it's much better for me. And they didn't understand the complexity of the anxiety, they didn't understand the mood swings, didn't understand the difference between happy and manic and sad and depressed. And they are so many worlds apart. It's just so, and they didn't understand irrational thoughts and fears. And when I found a support group, it was amazing. Having people that knew what it was like to be manic and half paint the lounge room blue because the mania wore off and couldn't be bothered finishing it. Buying 10 toasters because they're on sale.
She doesn't eat bread, by the way.
Yeah. A few people got married, so got rid of the toasters. but the people at the support group really understood what it was like, and how euphoric, even though occasionally risque, manic episodes can be. But they also understood how numb and isolating and dangerous the depression was. And they didn't ridicule me. They didn't, oh, you'll get over it, you little bridge.
It's all in your
None
head.
of that. Well, yeah, that's where my brain is. So,
Where do they think it is?
My husband thinks it's in my little toe. I believe that my recovery journey began when I was finally put on the right medication, and with a combination of the psychotherapy, support from my family, and coping strategies. Yeah, they help. And we provide living examples of being successful and functional in the community and entertaining.
Well, we try to be entertaining.
We try.
We try. So we have to the next one?
Yeah.
Now, the best part about our talks are they are free. So anybody on the Gold Coast, because I don't think they'll pay us to go anywhere else.
Advertising. If you want us to come to WA,
do send a request into the box. It'll probably be denied, but you know,
we'll give it a go.
If there's enough support, maybe.
We do need to apply for passports.
Well, yes, but we've got time till next year.
All right.
As I like to say, we do weddings, birthdays and bar mitzvahs. We've spoken to an employment agency and the feedback from that was amazing. Their biggest concern was getting people with mental illness to appointments. And we sat down and said, well, if they're having a bad day and you ring them up and say, well, if you don't get in here, I'm going to cut you off your benefits, you've just guaranteed they're not going to come in because the anxiety's now gone through the roof and they're curled up in a fetal position, bawling their eyes out. You know, with Janelle and I, I'm a morning person, so if I need... I know. So if I need an appointment, I need it in the morning. I've got more chance of getting there in the morning, whereas Janelle's an afternoon person, so we explained the difference in that, and that made a difference. When we get back, we're actually approaching a lot more employment agencies, employers. We've written to the schools. Basically, if you'll listen to us, we'll talk to you.
We've done talks at the hospitals for the Focus on Consumers Week, which was really cool. The first talk we ever did was to a room full of doctors. That was fun.
In a rather large auditorium.
We spoke to Centrelink staff, which was amazing. We were actually asked to speak to the allied health staff at Centrelink, the ones who assess the disability support pension, and they asked us to provide information about ways that they can make that experience easier for people living with mental illness. And we approached one place it's a hub house for people with mental illness and carers, and we approached them when we were first starting and said, can we hold our first talk there? And she turned around and she said, no, I want you here monthly.
Well, at first she wanted us weekly. We said, oh, no, it's too much.
So we agreed to monthly, and we've been doing monthly support groups now for 5 months.
Have we done 3? Or have we done 4? Oh no, there was the second one when no one turned up.
All right, let's try that again. So we've done 3.
Yeah, there was the one where nobody turned up.
Yeah, all right.
It wasn't well advertised.
Oh, love having ADHD. I've got so many numbers running through my head, I don't know which one. But however, they introduced a new hub house down at Palm Beach.
Nothing like competition.
They've invited us to speak down there on a fortnightly basis.
So Michelle from the first hub house said, no, you've got to do it here fortnightly. So now we're doing it weekly.
Now we're doing weekly support groups as of next week, so it's pretty awesome.
Alternating between the two. So
next one, it's my cool graph.
Oh, your cool graph. Yes, your cool graph that you lost.
I'm so proud of myself. I am technology retarded. Ask any of my kids, you know. Post your photos on Facebook, Mum. What? How do you do that? I had my first selfie taken last night. You know, that's how tech savvy I am, so. Now the success, the definition of success in the 2009 Collins English Dictionary that I've got at home is the achievement of something attempted. The definition of successful is having a favourable outcome. Based on these two definitions, Let's Have a Chat has been a success and is successful. All right, going to go this way.
Yeah, go that way.
In this chart, we have evaluations at the end of our talks.
Bucket and balls, it's really greedy.
And we ask people if they've had an increased awareness of people living with mental illness and if they feel they can better communicate with people with a mental illness. When I put in the project plan, my goal was to increase these two categories by 25%. The actual figures, increased awareness is 92% of the people that we've spoken to, and 96% of the people we've spoken to feel they are better able to communicate with people with a mental illness. So I'm quite proud of that. On the right hand side, again the blue is the goal, the red's the achievement. The goal was in 6 months to host 12 sessions. In 5 months, we've hosted 16. By the end of the 6 months, we've got 4, 5, 6 more, so that's 22.
We've got 5 minutes.
Okay. And the attendees, we estimated about 10 per session, and in actual fact, we've achieved 14 per session. And we've delivered to 210 people on the coast so far. Next.
Oh, you can do this one, because...
Yeah, all right. There's 3 ways. Partners in Recovery naturally are a federally funded program. They are only in existence until the NDI comes in. We don't know when that's going to be in Queensland.
2019, I heard.
Apparently, but we don't know how long PIR will be around for. So we've started thinking of our existence beyond PIR. There are 3 options. We can become a small business, which would mean we have to charge for discussions, and that's not an option.
No, we're not doing that.
No.
People won't come. Well, they would. I mean, we could come to you actually, pay $20 at the door.
No, that's at night, at open mic night.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. It's just a thing.
Being hired by a mental health service provider on the Gold Coast, we could headline next year's comedy
I think we could.
I reckon. Being hired by a mental health service provider to do what we do. That's an option, it's a realistic option, and we're putting the feelers out at the moment. Or creating a non-profit organisation that'll go on to be a fee for service.
Yeah, but the headache of all that paperwork.
I know, I've been trying. But we have received some interest to fund our program from another mental health service provider. So
if anyone knows of a rich philanthropist who...
Philanthropist.
But, yeah, I can't say that word. They know what I mean.
Yeah, all
Next
right.
one.
Next one. Conclusion.
Oh, this is our boasting photo. The gentleman in the middle is our State Member of Parliament for Gavin, who is 100% behind us after
Very
bumping
supportive.
into... Very supportive. He has done the coffee cup stigma cup, and he has one of these T-shirts. Waiting for his photo though. And that's due to Janelle bumping into him at the market. We vote for him in everywhere.
I talk. I don't know if you can tell, but I kind of like it.
We got 2 minutes.
Yeah. So in conclusion, the key variables for this initiative to come together have been the encouragement of partners in recovery through the Activate Your Voice program to come forward with ideas to reduce stigma on the Gold Coast. The approachability of the staff at PIR to go to them and say, hey, I've got this idea, what do you think? And not be told, you're ridiculous, there are pigs flying, you know, and to be able to provide that project plan.
And their support is incredible.
Absolutely amazing.
You know, they're very aware, we've got lived experiences. There are times when we have difficulties, we can go in and we can talk to them, no problems. The eagerness of everybody for this to happen. I mean,
that's supposed to be of you and me.
Oh, and our eagerness too. But no, everyone's eager. Hey, the CEO knows our name, and we're in the office half a day a week. I mean, how cool is that?
But it's about us being eager, and
we are passionate.
Our own mental health has improved greatly since we started doing this project.
Hey, I haven't had a panic attack yet.
We're not done yet. Reflecting on our own experiences has been also a key variable, and it's great therapy. I mean, I get to stand up in front of people and talk about my worries. It's great. Talk about psychotherapy on a mass scale. And the community support, the support that we get from SED, the support that we've had from the Mayor's Office at Gold Coast Council.
And we've got that new MP too.
Oh, and another MP's showed a bit of interest. So we have 1 minute and we have received huge support. With the coffee cup campaign at the moment on the coast, I'm apparently airing on one of the radio stations every other day because from an interview that I did with the CEO. It's so cool. I did an interview with the CEO.
And we're in the paper next week.
And we're in the local paper next week. So the community has really embraced us.
Well, front page of Generally Speaking, which is the newsletter that goes out to every GP in our region. That's front page.
Okay. And we're on heaps of websites and but the community have been really supportive and really receptive to what we're doing.
And we're slowly taking over the Gold Coast.
Yep. And look out, Melbourne Comedy Festival, we may be there. Thank you.
Thank you. Have you got any questions? I just want to let you know the ACT Comedy Festival's in March.
Funniest thing, first time I went on stage to do comedy, I got off stage and tore the medial ligament in my knee. Second time I went in the competition, I almost spat my teeth out. So yeah, no, maybe not.
Actually, I do have a question. I'm really curious to know what Centrelink kind of wanted from you, or the kinds of skills that they were hoping to build.
They wanted to build skills around making people feel comfortable,
how to
taking
reduce
the
anxiety
stress away. Their language in their forms is very, one of their key things to be eligible for the DSP under a mental illness is you must be stable. And the first thing I said to them was, I don't know, I might be stable right now, but in 5 minutes, I don't know, I'm tipping it might not happen. And
just a
so they are actually looking at changing that wording and just telling them ways to help people become more at ease at the appointment, not rushing them, keeping eye contact, offering them a glass of water, just simple things. So,
unfortunately, they're not the ones that make the decision, but
that initial appointment can be,
of course, me to have a panic attack.
I can get one of your t-shirts.
Now, I have spoken to the boss about this morning, funnily enough. There's only a few left size small, and they are going, don't know if we're going to do another run. I said, crying out loud, I said, we could have made a fortune down here.
We have been approached by about 30 or 40 people for t-shirts so far.
We are actually going to go back to the boss and recommend that they do another run and offer them on the website for purchase.
And the cups.
And the cups.
I will. Hey! That's awesome.
This is still being recorded, yeah?
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Leslie.
We love
you. Matt, there's an idea.
There's at least 50 people in this room that would like to purchase one of those shirts.
Absolutely. We're rocking it in Canberra.
Have we got any other questions? Yeah.
Just a comment from me. I have studied public speaking and presentations and done lots over the years, and you were probably the best that I've seen at the conference. So.
Oh, thank you. We do use humour because I believe, and I know in myself, that when I attend presentations, if something makes me laugh, I remember that.
Yes.
If something makes me yawn,
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember it. So that's why and it's also a bit of a coping strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, all of you know Robin Williams, greatest comic ever, and he wore his humour as a mask, and I actually learnt that from him. So I have used humour for a very long time as a coping mechanism in social situations, because I figure if people are laughing with me, they're not laughing at me. So get in first and get that laugh happening.
Yeah.
But thank you. This is the first time I've been
Either
at a
of us
conference.
has presented at a conference.
Yes.
So thank you.
And your message, so it's not only your humour, but your message is very targeted and so well done.
Thank you. Please, we have business cards. Please feel free to grab one. Email us, and we will keep you up to date with what we can achieve with the t-shirts.
And I've got pens.
She has collected pens from every stand at this conference.
That's what they're there for. But these these
So you're
pens,
supposed to collect them once.
Can we put them here and you can come get them after
Absolutely.
I've got to say, our pens are groovy. Look.
We're really technologically aware.
Sorry,